The Colts are sitting in a great spot right now. Somebody at 34 or 44 might help you in the present.
If we think we have the powerhouse running back who has breakaway speed, do we go there at 34? But what are the thoughts on Taylor?
Taylor the 30. He's gone. He's at the 30. He's going to go.
We got to do whatever we can to go and get this player.
And they finally bring Taylor down.
Because running back has been devalued over the course of time, the guy really should have been a first-round pick.
Worry about Tampa coming in over top.
Jacksonville's a worry. They're shopping Fournette.
There's no doubt we wouldn't want to play against that guy for the next 10 years.
Let's go get him. Get Taylor.
Turn it in the pick, Jonathan on Tampa.
Nice work. Holy shit. Excuse my language.
I mean, to be honest with you guys, we didn't think he would be there.
I thought JT was going in the first round just from what I saw.
To sit there and say, hey, this guy's going to be an impact starter, difference maker with your second pick in the second round, I mean, that's hitting the lottery.
Touchdown, Wisconsin. Oh, what an effort by Jonathan Taylor. Look at that. Right on cue. Stars know when to shine. Touchdown.
The reason I put Taylor 1 was because of first and second down. I think he's got feet. I think he's got good run skills. You put him behind our line, and he will be a home run hitter for us. Is there anybody that didn't like him?
You put your eyes on him at practice. I mean, that's what an NFL running back looks like.
Every time he stepped on the field, he was arguably the best player, whether it was offense or defensively. Everyone knew JT was getting the ball 20, 30 times a game, and it was just a matter of how could you stop him. Not a lot of teams did.
We welcome you to Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship game.
You could feel his speed on our turf.
In that Big Ten championship game against Ohio State, you saw him make that one cut, and he was just gone.
And he makes a run versus Ohio State, and they're loaded with NFL talent. You don't see many backs make that run.
They hand it off Taylor.
There was no one that was going to be able to catch him.
Jonathan Taylor. All the way to the end zone. Touchdown. Jonathan Taylor from 44 yards away.
I mean, look, he's a big man that ran fast and has been productive in college. I think it's going to translate to the NFL, too.
There's something to be said. This guy ran for 2,000 yards against people that they know what's going to happen. They know they're giving this guy the ball.
When he gets a hole, he's gone.
When you project this guy behind our line and in our scheme, holy
teams are going to have to game plan for this guy with our offensive line.
I didn't think it was a question. He was the most well-rounded back, that we looked at yesterday.
We talked about wanting to run the ball, so I mean, he's the best runner out of this entire group.
We might be like, why didn't we pick this guy?
Studying him over the course of the 2 years that I did, from his sophomore to junior year, the biggest question of his game was, what could he do in the passing game?
And you saw some of the good things that he could do in that phase of the game at the pro day. There wasn't a ton of it on tape.
Just going to practice and not seeing him working on the jugs machine, you saw his hands and they were very good. And then his pro day, it stuck out even more. Shoot, this guy could be very effective in the passing game.
After seeing him at the pro day and how he caught the ball, they had him split out wide. I mean, I have no questions on the hands.
We felt good about his receiving skills. You just really didn't see a ton of it in college. Other than that, I mean, the guy was a slam dunk.
And K-Roll's right. He's sitting there at 34, and he might be the best pick to take at this pick.
We knew we wanted a receiver. We knew we wanted a back.
Pittman and JT were both like this on our board.
Every day we were having long Zoom sessions about, all right, if this guy's on the board, this guy versus this guy, who would we take? Who adds more of an explosive element to our offense, Taylor or Pittman?
Pittman. Taylor.
Pittman. Taylor. Both of them are going to make us more explosive. We're going to be more explosive.
I think we're in a good spot to get two really good players if we stand pat. And I might consider going up and getting another guy, depending on what we do at 34.
It's now my honor to announce that the first ever virtual NFL draft is officially open. Wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver.
With the number of receivers that went off the board in the first round, we knew it was going to be probably in the best interest to go after Pittman first.
It was a very heavy wide receiver class, and a lot of them went in the first round with Judy, Lamb, Jefferson.
We felt like Jonathan had a better chance to slide, based on the position and based on the number of backs still on the board.
Who are we okay waiting on at 44? And then at 44, if we get antsy, we can just go get him. All right, so we got a bunch of shit on the table now. We're going to have to be on it tonight.
Can we get two difference makers, a back and a receiver, at 34 and 44? What are our chances of getting that done if we stand pat?
We'll still have those discussions on draft day, but usually in my mind, we've made those decisions already. I'm just double checking again when we get on, before we get on the clock on who we're taking. Who's the biggest game changer of this group? Taylor, Pittman, who's going to change the game?
I'm just hearing that they're going to pick Higgins at 33. Go ahead.
Who is?
Cincinnati.
Well, then that cements it.
Once the Bengals took T. Higgins with the first pick in the second round,
we knew first guy we got to get is Michael.
With the 34th pick, the Indianapolis Colts select Michael Pittman, wide receiver, USC.
Nice job.
Pick is in.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire had gone off with the last pick of the first round, and we knew a bunch of teams had big grades on DeAndre Swift.
I mean, I'd be shocked if Detroit doesn't take it back. Detroit's got, they could easily take Taylor.
The Detroit Lions select running back DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift went right after our pick, so that was that was two running backs off the board. JT and J.K. Dobbins were the next guys there.
We thought he would go between our two picks, and when he didn't, we were like, okay, we got to do what we can to go up and get him.
It was a kind of a good run of defensive players after that DeAndre Swift, and we're like, shoot, we got a chance at getting JT here.
Who's in front of Miami?
Carolina just said they would consider us coming up from 44 if their one guy's not there.
We felt pretty confident that a team before our 44 pick was going to take a running back. Chris was trying to work the phones and get up and take JT.
Let's go get him.
Get Taylor. Agreed.
All right, thanks. They're picking.
All right. Who's after him?
I mean, you can always say, you can trade back, you can trade up, but it doesn't always work that way.
If he gets past Miami, we'll just hold our breaths here. It is what it is. We'll just hold our breath and see if we get lucky. If not, we'll still get a good player.
I think I was sitting on my hands a little bit during that process. All you could do is wait and hope that they're not taking the guy that we all wanted.
Miami's pick is in. Houston is on the clock.
With the 39th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select
Robert Hunt, tackle, Louisiana Lafayette.
And once they didn't, I think everyone was kind of jumping up for joy there.
What do y'all think? Houston, Cleveland, Jacksonville, Chicago.
I worry about Tampa coming in over top.
Jacksonville's a worry. They're shopping Fournette.
Hey, Chris, Cleveland said they may call you. They'd be interested in our 5th. We want to go up to 41.
Cleveland, Andrew Berry was here. We know him well. He likes his draft picks. He's a economical type guy. So we had a pretty good feeling that we could work something out with Cleveland. Losing a later round pick versus losing Jonathan, it was a no-brainer.
We were going to take him with the second pick in the second round, and then Mr. Irsay kind of gave the final consent of, let's go trade up for this guy.
I wouldn't pass up Taylor. You've been talking about him, Chris.
Yeah, call him and let's see if we can, see if he'll do it.
We got to do whatever we can to go and get this player. He's going to be a difference maker in our offense. We didn't want to take any chances.
In most years, you're not going to have 2 shots in the second round of 2 guys that we think are first-round players, so let's go get him.
We're good with Cleveland if their guy's not there and our guy's still there.
Houston's pick is in. Cleveland is on the clock.
Ross Blacklock, defensive tackle, TCU.
Go get him. Yeah, we're good. We'll do it. Hey, we'll call it in too. Bloom, call the trade in.
On in now.
And once, I think it was Ross Blacklock came off to the Texans, that would have been the ultimate kick, right? If the Texans take him right before we're going to take him. But Blacklock comes off, we make the pick, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that would not be something I'd want to game plan for 2 times a year.
Go Horseshoe.
Yeah, let's go.
I know. Take it to the house, Taylor.
Offensive firepower. Serious right now.
Turning in the pick, Jonathan Taylor.
Nice work. Holy excuse my language.
We sit in the draft room and discussions we have. A lot of times, you know, the tipping point is, hey, do you want to play with this guy or against this guy? And I mean, there's no doubt we wouldn't want to play against that guy for the next 10 years.
This is stinking unreal. I mean, if you told me we're going to get Pittman and Taylor right now, I'm just sitting here shaking my head.
We wanted to add what Chris and I have been talking about the whole time. How do we get more explosive? So really what you're looking for is him to turn 10-yard runs into 50-yard runs.
Most guys that big, they hit that 10 to 12, maybe 15-yard mark, and they get tackled and they fall forward, and it's a big gain, but it's not a 70-yard run. Like, he turns those into 70-yard runs just because of that speed.
Wow! Taylor's gone. Jonathan Taylor, goodbye, 78 yards.
All the running game stuff is exactly what we anticipated.
What a player this guy is. Touchdowns to the Taylor, bang!
And I think he's been even better as he surpassed it as a receiver. And I think there's still more room for him to grow.
Trying to get it out to Taylor on the screen, get some of the yardage back, and rip it down the sideline.
To be able to get Pitt and JT, like I said, it worked out perfect in the scenario that we were looking for.
We felt pretty close about the guys value-wise, so we guessed right.
Downfield, Michael Pittman, high points the ball, touchdown! Are you kidding me? Taylor's gonna finish it! Jonathan Taylor! Good night!
The Indianapolis Colts select Jonathan Taylor.